Let's be brutally honest for a moment. Staying deeply motivated on your fitness journey is incredibly easy when every single thing in your life is going perfectly right. When you're feeling rested, genuinely inspired, and laser-focused, consistency feels effortless. But what about those inevitable days when you're utterly exhausted, drowning in stress, plagued by frustration, or simply, profoundly, not feeling it at all? That's precisely when most people fall completely off track, abandoning their goals. It's not because they lack the desire for transformation. It's often because they rely far too heavily on the fleeting energy of motivation. In those tough moments, genuine, resilient mindset trumps fleeting motivation every single time. In this powerful video, I'm going to share with you 4 transformative mindset shifts that are designed to help you stay consistently on track and committed, even when your energy levels plummet and your perceived progress feels excruciatingly slow. These aren't mere hacks. They are profound tools to fundamentally rewire how you think about discipline, effort, and what real, sustainable progress truly looks like. Shift 1. Discipline is not pressure, it's self-respect. When most people hear the word discipline, their minds immediately conjure images of something cold, rigid, and utterly joyless, perhaps even a form of self-punishment. But here's the game-changing revelation. True, authentic discipline is not about harshly forcing yourself to do things you despise. On the contrary, it's about actively and consistently taking profound care of yourself, even, and especially, when it feels incredibly difficult, inconvenient, or simply not what you feel like doing in the moment. Think of it through this simple, relatable analogy. When you brush your teeth meticulously every single day, you're not doing it because you're suddenly overcome with a wild burst of motivation or a fervent desire for oral hygiene. You're doing it because you genuinely care about your future self, the one who will benefit from healthy teeth and gums. That truly is what discipline is all about. It's not a relentless grind that depletes you. It is, profoundly, an ongoing act of unwavering loyalty and profound commitment to your future self and your long-term well-being. When you fundamentally shift your thinking from the burdensome, "I have to do this," to the empowering, "I get to take care of myself and nurture my body," the entire emotional feeling of your routine undergoes a radical transformation. You stop frantically chasing unsustainable intensity, that fleeting burst of extreme effort, and you begin the deeper, more profound work of building a new, healthier identity. You stop anxiously asking, "How much intense pressure can I possibly put on myself today?" And instead, you begin to ask a far more sustainable and compassionate question. How can I genuinely show up for myself today, in a way that feels utterly honest, deeply aligned, and completely sustainable for the long haul? And that, my friends, is precisely when the true magic begins to unfold. Discipline miraculously becomes far less about external pressure and internal force, and profoundly more about cultivating an inner state of genuine peace and empowered choice. Shift 2. Motivation comes after movement. One of the most pervasive and self-sabotaging traps we fall into is passively waiting to feel ready or motivated before we take any action whatsoever. We mistakenly believe that the desired feeling of readiness has to magically appear before we engage in the action itself. But in reality, the powerful truth is almost always the exact opposite. It's a fundamental principle of human behavior. Action consistently precedes motivation. Consider this. Most people, on any given day, don't wake up feeling an overwhelming intrinsic desire to work out. They don't feel like it. But once they initiate the movement, after the first set, the initial stretch, that very first step of a walk, a surge of energy and motivation miraculously kicks in. It's the same profound principle with literally anything in life. Consistent action inherently creates powerful momentum. Think about striking a match. You don't patiently wait for a roaring fire to appear. You consciously make a spark. So instead of allowing yourself to be derailed by the thought, "I just don't feel like it," bravely shift your internal dialogue and ask, what is the absolute smallest, most manageable action I can take right now that will simply get me moving? It could be something as seemingly insignificant as simply putting on your workout shoes. It might be opening your fitness app and just looking at the first exercise, or perhaps it's just drinking a refreshing glass of water and consciously standing up from your chair. And once you take that initial step, no matter how tiny, you'll often realize that the very feeling of motivation you were passively waiting for was, in fact, patiently waiting on you to initiate the movement. True consistency does not reside in the ephemeral realm of inspiration. It thrives and flourishes in the consistent realm of repetition, even and especially when the immediate vibe or feeling just isn't there. Shift 3. Progress isn't always visible, but it's always happening. We live in a visually driven world that relentlessly celebrates the dramatic after photo, the sudden, awe-inspiring transformation. But what our social media feeds rarely, if ever, show is the incredibly messy, often frustrating, yet profoundly essential journey that happens in between those picture-perfect moments. So, when you're diligently putting in the unseen work, consciously making better food choices, consistently training, prioritizing your precious sleep, and the mirror, that unforgiving judge, doesn't seem to reflect much immediate change. It's incredibly easy to feel utterly defeated, to question your efforts. But here's the profound, empowering truth you absolutely must internalize. Significant foundational progress is consistently happening long before it ever becomes outwardly visible to the naked eye or to the camera lens. Behind the scenes, your intricate hormonal systems are subtly balancing themselves. Your joints are steadily getting stronger, becoming more resilient. Your vital energy levels are stabilizing, becoming more consistent throughout the day. Your brain is actually getting sharper, more focused, more capable. And most importantly, your fundamental relationship with yourself, that crucial self-belief and self-respect, is actively healing and strengthening with every single intentional action you take. These profound, internal wins don't always show up as a dramatic drop on the scale, or as a perfectly sculpted physique in a selfie. But trust me, they matter every bit as much, if not more, than any external metric. Think about the humble seed. When it is nestled deep underground, completely unseen, it is tirelessly growing its vital roots, establishing its foundational strength, even though absolutely no one sees it. And when it finally, triumphantly breaks through the soil, bursting into the sunlight, it appears as though it emerged from nowhere, a sudden miracle. But you now know the deeper truth. Profound growth was consistently happening the entire time, even when it was completely invisible. So if you are genuinely showing up for yourself, putting in the consistent effort, you are not stuck. You are simply growing underground, laying down the unbreakable roots for your future visible transformation. Shift 4. You don't need a perfect day, you just need a comeback. Let's have some real talk, something everyone experiences but rarely discusses openly. You will fall off track sometimes. It's an undeniable part of being human. You'll have those weekends where you might eat a little too much, skip your planned gym sessions, or completely lose your focus and discipline. This doesn't in any way make you a permanent failure. It simply makes you undeniably human. The individuals who consistently achieve long-term success in their fitness journey, who genuinely transform their lives, are not the ones who are miraculously perfect all the time. They are simply incredibly skilled at bouncing back. They master the art of the comeback. They possess the profound wisdom not to let one isolated bad day spiral into an entire disastrous bad week. They reset quickly, with remarkable speed and efficiency. They do so without dwelling in debilitating shame. They don't resort to harsh overcompensation or self-punishment. A truly powerful, resilient mindset is built on the ability to calmly and confidently say, "Okay, I slipped up. It happened. Now what's the very next best move I can genuinely make right here, right now, to get back on track?" You don't need to be extreme in your efforts to succeed. What you truly need to cultivate is unwavering resilience. Remember, one single workout session won't magically transform your entire body, but equally important, one indulgent cheat meal will absolutely not ruin all your progress either. Lasting progress does not belong to the perfectly flawless. It unequivocally belongs to the wonderfully persistent. Embrace your humanness and commit to the comeback. If you've been profoundly struggling to stay consistent on your fitness journey, remember this undeniable truth with unwavering conviction. It's not about a lack of motivation. It is fundamentally about your perspective, your mindset. These 4 transformative mindset shifts are powerful tools that can genuinely carry you through the messy days, the frustratingly slow weeks, and those inevitable mental dips where your energy plummets. You don't have to always be in the mood to move your body or pursue your goals. You just have to make the courageous decision to move. And trust that the very act of movement will, in turn, powerfully change your mood, your energy, and your entire outlook. You don't need a perfectly detailed, infallible plan to begin. What you truly need is the unwavering commitment to simply keep coming back, again and again, even after you stumble. Now, it's your turn to connect. Drop a comment below. Which of these 4 powerful mindset shifts resonated with you the hardest, hitting you right where you needed it? And what is your personal strategy for staying consistent when that fleeting motivation inevitably fades? Share your wisdom. If this video served as a powerful reminder that genuine discipline doesn't have to be a painful, punishing ordeal, please give it a heart and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe to FitLife Hub and hit that notification bell for real talk, actionable habits, and the insights you need to build a truly sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Let's continue this journey together, one intentional step at a time.